pins. You can bring the awning in almost any position. You have to make sure the adjustment pins on the left and the right are not more than 3 positions different. Open your awning, and to adjust the pitch, press in the adjustment pin. Now simply slide the arm where you want it, towards the coach for a lower pitch, away for a higher pitch. Our Outlaws have an awning over the rear patio. The Class C is manual. Simply crank it open. Then pull out the stabilizing arm and lock it in place. The Class A awning is electric.
Adjusting the pitch on some of these awnings require a couple of things. A little help, so as always, I'm going to utilize the help of Tom, and you're going to need some basic tools. For this particular awning, you're going to need a 4mm Allen wrench. Tom? This is a swim fin. This is a Gene Simmons mask. That's the Millennium Falcon. I need a 4mm Allen wrench. That's Tom. He likes to rock and roll all night and adjust awnings every day.
For this, it really helps if you have someone holding the lead rail to take some of the pressure off the adjustment screws. First, loosen the top screw. Then make your adjustments with the bottom screw. Turning it to the left will lower the pitch. Turning it to the right will raise the pitch. When you have it where you want it, tighten the top screw, then move on to the other side. Now this awning self-adjusts to accommodate the set pitch. This awning is also equipped with a motion detector, so if the wind starts knocking that canopy around, it will automatically retract. Our final style of Carefree awning is very similar. It too has the wind retraction and adjusts in a similar fashion. Open the awning and have your version of Tom hold the lead rail. With a 4mm Allen wrench, loosen the top screw. Then adjust the lower screw to your desired pitch. Turn it counterclockwise to lower the pitch, clockwise to raise the pitch. A few important notes here. Make small adjustments and do not use power tools. When you have it where you want it, don't forget, tighten that locking screw back up.
Simple, quick adjustments to your awnings and you will have it made in the shade. Now, is that too cheesy, Gene? Yeah, how about this? Oh, snap! Awnings! No. Let's keep it simple. For more owner's resources, visit thormotorcoach.com. When vacation rolls around, everyone is excited to hit the road. When vacation is over, there's a part of you that's excited to head back home, right? But before you hit the road, you need to give your coach the TLC she deserves. Well, this just got awkward. Let's get those slide-out rooms and awnings in and check that TV antenna. Now walk around and check those tires. Check the lugs. Look for uneven wear, damage. Check your tire pressure. Remember, never let air out of a hot tire. Once you've made the loop around, it is time to check that windshield. You want to look for cracks or damage, and I'll tell you, nothing makes your coach angrier than a cracked windshield. Oh, easy girl. Everything looks good. Check those wiper blades too, and your wiper fluid. Turn on the lights. Make sure they all work. All right, looks like we're good. Now let's go check the rear. Taillights are on. Now have someone press the brake pedal and check those brake lights. There are also a number of hoses and cords like shore power you need to disconnect. Wind those cables and hoses up and put them away. Empty your holding tanks before traveling. Make sure all those valves are closed. This is also a good time to check your propane connection for leaks. While you're putting away hoses and cables, go around and lock all the storage doors. You don't want any surprises like doors flying open and all your goodies falling out. When you're done outside, climb aboard and give the interior the once over. Now, if everybody is in, go ahead, close your door and lock it, and you're going to want to make sure that that step is up. If there is anything sitting around, like food, appliances, cookware, and gadgets, put them away and make sure the cabinets are shut. While you're at it, shut all doors and drawers and strap down any loose furniture so nothing goes flying around all willy-nilly during your trip. Make sure your leveling jacks are up. Get everybody seated and buckled up. Check your mirror so you can see the rear on both sides. Now you're ready to roll. Taking a few minutes to go over your pre-travel checklist makes for happier travel and a happier coach. Tires are the topic. Hi, I'm Steve Duval from Thor Motor Coach. Before you hit the road, you need to make sure your tires are ready to roll. So we've enlisted the expertise of Dr. Tread to give us the ins and outs of tires, and here he comes now.
I'm here.
Hey, Dr. Tread, thanks for being here. Can't wait to get started, but we need tires for this, right?
Of course we do.
Yours are rolling away.
Oh, Pythagoras.
In order to check your tire pressure, you need this. That particular gauge goes up to 160 PSI, which means what, Dr. Tread?
Pounds per square inch.
Have you ever taken a close look at a tire? That sidewall is chock full of information. Here, you can find the load rating, inflation pressure, speed rating, size, even when and where that tire was made. Some of that information can also be found inside the coach. On this particular model, it's inside the door jamb.
Now, it's important to remember to check your tires when they are cold, right, Dr. Tread?
Factual. Well, a gas expands when heat causes molecules to move faster. As heat energy is converted to kinetic energy, this means the volume of a gas increases more than the volume of a solid or liquid. However, gases that are contained in a fixed volume cannot expand, and so they increase the temperature and as a result increase the tire pressure.
Checking the pressure, easy peasy. Remove the cap, put the gauge on, and here's your readout. Now remember, maximum tire pressure and recommended tire pressure are not the same. You want to go with ideal. On rear dual wheels, you need to locate and check that inner tire too.
If you need air, put some in, but do not overinflate that tire. If you need to let some air out, you can. Just never let air out of a hot tire, as you could underinflate it. So what happens if you over or underinflate your tires, Dr. Tread?
Improper inflation? Well, that will lead to all kinds of chaos. Like dogs playing with cats, and peanut butter not going with jelly. And I will take over the world.
What are you doing? You can't say that. What if your grandma was watching, man? I should smack you with this.
Okay, I'll explain this one. Underinflated tires will build up excessive heat. Overinflation can reduce traction, braking, handling, and cause uneven tire wear. You should check the air pressure every 2 weeks or at least once a month and before any major trip. Your tire pressure should be checked every morning on long trips. As Dr. Tread said, you want to check your tires when they are cold. Now, a cold tire is one that has not been driven on for at least 3 hours, not considered cold because it's chilly outside.
So it's important to check that pressure after you're loaded, but before you hit the road, right, Dr. Tread?
Exactly. The benefits of properly inflated tires include improved handling, fuel economy, and increase the life of the tires. And it's a safety issue. Air pressure supports the entire RV, so proper inflation is important. Air pressure and load limit go hand in hand, and you never want to exceed that load limit. Overloading makes the vehicle hard to drive, and it can cause damage to your motorhome, and again, it's a safety issue.
Fascinating stuff. Thank you for your expertise, Dr. Tread.
Science!
You can let go. For more useful owner's resources, visit thormotorcoach.com.
Oh man, my battery's dead. Now what am I gonna do?
If you're tired of messy jumper cables, training wild rodents to do your dirty work for you,
Faster! Go faster!
and blunt objects.
Try the auxiliary start system.
The auxiliary start system.
The auxiliary start system.
If your vehicle's chassis battery is dead, the auxiliary start button draws current from your house batteries to start your motorhome.
So make sure your house batteries are charged so they're up to the task.
Boy, that sounds complicated.
Not at all.
Simply set your parking brake. Now, press and hold the auxiliary start switch located on the dash. Turn the key and start the engine. Once it's started, let go of the auxiliary start button.
Now this is important. Make sure you do not hold the ignition key in the start position for more than 30 seconds, as you could drain your house batteries, and that would mean no 12-volt power.
No 12-volt power?
No 12-volt power.
Well, then what do I do if my house batteries are dead?
Simply reverse the process.
Since the auxiliary start switch ties the chassis and house batteries together, you use the auxiliary start switch to engage the chassis battery and start the generator,
Thus, charging your house battery.
Wow! Auxiliary start is amazing!
Sure is, Tom. It sure is. It's auxiliary start from Thor Motor Coach. Get yours today. Thanks to auditory memory, there are a few sounds in life you recognize the instant you hear them, such as the ice cream man, a home run, and there's this one, tripping a breaker. It's not just the sound, you're also standing there in the dark, right? Well, tripping a breaker or blowing a fuse is going to happen. You need to know where the trouble is and how to fix it, so let's take a look at fuses and breakers.
Since locations of exterior fuses and breakers vary from coach to coach, it's best to get familiar with the exact locations of your coach so you know where to check. It's important to remember your motorhome has both a 12-volt power source, that is DC power. The 12-volt system is made up of the batteries that power and run your motorhome, both under the hood and your house batteries, which happen to run almost every item in your motorhome, such as your house lights, water pump, slides, and awnings. Your motorhome also has a 120-volt source, that is AC, just like in your home. This powers your refrigerator, ice maker, roof-mounted air conditioner, TVs, DVD players, microwave oven, converter, and the water heater. This is the power you get from firing up the generator or plugging into shore power. When you are plugged in, the converter will do exactly that and convert 120 volt into 12 volts to run your 12-volt items, and it charges your batteries. On units equipped with inverters, 12 volts will be converted to 120 volts so you can run all your goodies without being plugged in. If you lose power to outlets on an inverter circuit, check to see if the built-in inverter breaker needs to be reset. So let's say something running on DC power stops. Head back to the fuse box located under the bed. The fuses are an automotive blade-style fuse. Everything on the panel is labeled. To find the bad fuse, you can use a test light to check or pull them out one by one. When replacing them, make sure you use the same amperage of fuse. For example, do not replace a 40 amp with a 15 amp or vice versa. If something running on AC power quits, head back to the breaker box. This is the load center and contains all your 120 volt house breakers. Just like in your home, you can see what breaker tripped. Go ahead and reset it, but don't be fooled. Sometimes they all look fine. Say you're drying your hair or making some toast. If your dew is still wet and your toast is still bread, it may be your GFCI outlet, so you're going to need to reset this. There are two buttons, test and reset. Simply press the reset button. Your generator also has a circuit breaker. If your generator stops running, locate the breaker on the generator and reset it. If that doesn't do the trick, find the bay with your house batteries. See this 100 amp breaker? If the tab is down, simply push it back up to reset it. This breaker also powers your leveling jacks. If your fuses or breakers continue to blow or trip, you're going to need to get your ride into a TMC service center to be checked out.
You know, Tom, I've been thinking.
What you been thinking about? How ridiculous we look? I mean, come on, you're supposed to wear just the emblem, not the whole grill.
That's probably why this is so heavy. But more importantly, I've been thinking about fuses and breakers.
Oh yeah, man, I know about fuses and breakers, but where's that pop been hanging out?
Fuses and breakers are under the bed, under the hood, up over your head. You can find breakers in the storage bay. This is where they are on Class C and A. So let's say something running on DC power stops. You need to strut back to the fuse box. Tom, hit me with some strut music. You want to make sure your breakers are completely reset. For that, you need time. Push it down one time. Now push it up. Now clap your hands.
All right, man, well, if you're done with your version of breaker talk, let me show you mine.
Where did you get the dancers? And I'd probably tone down these lights a little bit before you trip a breaker. I'll reset it.
Wiggity! Word.